Thanks for coming along. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you, yeah.
Jolly good,
Yeah.
jolly good. How's the family?
Okay.
Hmm?
To be honest, I'd rather not.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
I think
I
things
understand.
are, you know, you've probably heard rumour and stuff, and I don't like just, discussing that sort of thing.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm.
No, please. I mean, but do understand if ever you ever want to talk to me, or if there are any implications as far as work are concerned, then you know my door is always open.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I like to feel that that if anybody in my team is struggling in any way, shape or form, that I'm there for them.
Right.
So please, if you'd like to talk, that's fine, but if not, that's fine too.
Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate that, and I will, if I feel the need, then I will certainly take you up on that very kind offer, so thank you.
Now, just as important obviously for us, colleagues as we are, is how things at work. How are you? I mean, how's the job, fulfilment of the job, and your general motivation?
Not bad. I mean, there are a few frustrations that I'm facing at the moment, to be honest. One in particular, the situation with Mrs. Grabber. Absolutely, really is beginning to sort of wear me down, and I think actually it's reached the stage where I think that you really need to sort of step in there and do something about it.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Right. What could I do?
Well, basically, I mean, the situation is that, obviously she joined the company, she's pretty young, she's pretty inexperienced. I don't hold that against her. I mean, we've all come from that situation before.
Yes, yes.
Everybody has to be, new at some stage. The difference is that I think most people, I would count yourself and myself, when we were in that situation, we recognised the fact that we had limited experience. We recognised the fact that that we didn't have as much knowledge as other people, and we sought out people who could act as mentors and could give us help in those early days. And I think that's because we had a sort of healthy sort of degree of humility and and a sort of reasonable self-awareness. Now, unfortunately, with Mrs. Grabber, and I'm sure you've probably noticed this as well,
it makes me uncomfortable to talk about this, but go on.
Well, I'm sure you'd agree, it's one thing to be inexperienced, she is that for sure, but the problem arises is that she has an excessively high opinion of herself, bordering on arrogance. And what this means is that rather than welcoming help from other people, senior colleagues like myself, instead she actually is extremely resistant to anybody trying to help her. I've tried to help her on numerous occasions, and it's always been met with either indifference or sometimes with actually outright rudeness.
Oh dear.
I mean, there was a very nasty incident in the, by the water cooler the other day where she had done something which I had pointed out to her, an error she'd made before. And I had to draw her attention to it again because it had landed on my desk and it had caused a problem with a client. And so I had to raise it with her again. Well, I mean, you'd think I had just sort of, physically attacked her. The vehemence with which she turned round, she was extremely rude to me. She really lost control, raised her voice, was extremely aggressive, and did this in full view of other colleagues. And I think there was a client who was visiting Max, who was having a meeting, and will clearly have heard her raising her voice in anger. Now, I'm sure you'd agree, that sort of behaviour is unacceptable. Am I right?
This is it's difficult for me to hear, quite honestly.
Yeah,
you know,
I can understand that.
It's difficult to hear. It troubles me greatly. It's obviously not the sort of relationship that I want between us. You know, it's a sort of, if you like, I want a family type of feeling here. I want us to feel, you know, we connect as a group.
Absolutely agree.
I don't like this discomfort, this disagreement.
No, absolutely not. So what you need to do is you need to have a word with her at the earliest opportunity and just point out that her behaviour is unacceptable and that she has to change her attitude for the benefit of the team. And actually for her own benefit as well, because she's not going to, you know, her own career is not going to develop you know, positively if she maintains this sort of behaviour.
Yeah.
And clearly she isn't aware of it. So I think you need to draw her attention to it.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much for that advice and guidance. I will think on it. I will think on it. Clearly, we have got to do something about it. You know, haven't we? Yeah, and obviously, if we can work on that together, so much.
I think you need to have a word with her first, though, because to be honest, and if this weren't the case, I would hold my hands up. I have not done anything wrong. I am not at fault in this particular instance. No. So there's nothing that we can do in the sense that there's nothing I can do to change my behaviour. I should still feel that I can help a junior colleague by offering advice and, where necessary, giving her, you know, feedback and asking, you know, if she's made an error, I have to draw it to her attention and ask her to, you know, to make sure that there's no repetition. So I don't accept the we in this. She needs to change her behaviour, and I think that is best coming from you, because she has no respect for me whatsoever. And with respect, I think part of the cause of that is the fact that I think she feels that I am kind of marginalised and that I'm being overlooked in the department now. I think she feels that she's been emboldened by the fact that you seem to spend a great deal of time with her. I think coming from you, it would actually be very beneficial, because it will make it clear to her where she stands, you know, what her lonely position is within the team.
Thanks for sharing all that with me, Peter. No, that's useful and very helpful. You know, it isn't. You know, it's good to have your advice, because you know, it's not always easy in a position of being a leader to know exactly, you know, what to do about these sort of situations. Peter, it was remiss of me not to just describe why we're here today and what I wanted to hope to get out of the meeting.
Sorry, and I promise I will, you know, leave this alone. But this is, you've asked me what's important to me at the moment and why, you know, how things are at work, and I have told you that I am feeling a little bit demotivated because of this situation with Mrs. Grabber. Yeah. Can you give me an assurance that you will have a chat with her and sort this out at the earliest opportunity? Because otherwise I feel like, you know, that you're not really perhaps appreciating quite how serious this is for me. Can you
Peter, it really is a very difficult thing for me, Peter, you're asking, and what I want to do, if I may, is to just
so you're not ready to have a word with her?
Can you give me a bit of time to think about it? You know, it is difficult for me. What you're asking is difficult, and I want a bit of time to think about it. I want to talk to you about it some more as well.
What can I just say, what would you like to discuss further about with her? Because I think I have outlaid the situation. As far as I can see, the situation is pretty simple and it's pretty clear. Junior colleague who is getting above herself, you're the team leader, and the only person that can really actually say, Mrs. Rabbit, you've got to modify your behaviour. That's all I'm asking.
I know.
So, I mean, could you sort of see a way to doing that within the next couple of days and just get this situation sorted? Because that would make a huge difference to me at the moment.
Can I give you an answer on that before we close the session?
Today? Yes, absolutely.
I'll try to anyway. But because it was remiss of me not to mention before we started. You know what we want to do. What today's all about. I mean, we should have had this chat a few weeks ago. I'm sorry that we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that. I want to say that.
Good.
I want to say how pleased I am to have you on board in this team.
Thank
with
you.
your wealth of experience and all that you bring.
Yeah.
It really is something that makes me feel good to have you around.
Good.
Mm.
It's good. It feels good to be appreciated for that.
And,
there's never been any question about my commitment.
It's,
you know, and that's
obviously it's difficult for me to say this. It's difficult for me to say this to you, but Peter, it's very difficult for me. It's the first leadership role that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cast in this role as a leader. If I share with you, I'm not finding it easy. I want to sort of build a team around me that can help support me in this.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I wanted to say how much I respect your skills and experience, and I want to say how much I really appreciate what you did with the DP project.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that. Now, I wish I'd said that to start off with, quite honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I am in admiration of you and all of that you bring, and that's a really good example. I mean,
you're going to offer me the post of deputy. Is that what you're alluding to? Because that was something else that I wanted to discuss, and I'd be delighted to accept it.
I wasn't going to raise that now. Again, be patient. Be patient if you will.
Is that something that you are considering at the moment, though?
Peter,
because obviously there's a lot of discussion going on within the team at the moment, as to who is going to assume the role of deputy. And I hope you don't mind me being so upfront about it. But I feel that we're having an open discussion. It is very important.
I'm glad you've mentioned that. There's two things there. You mentioned the role of the deputy. Mm-hmm. You've mentioned Mrs. Gravitt and your hopes about what I can do to sort that out. The two things, they're key things for me that I think I need to think about, that I want to talk about more with you, and I want to talk about more, obviously, with HR, particularly that latter issue and so forth. But look, and I will come back to that.
Because the thing is, I think they're very closely connected, because the problem with Mrs. Gravitt lies in the fact that my role, my position, is unclear.
Yes. And
since you've come in, and I please don't think for a second that I harbour any resentment over the fact that you were appointed externally and I was overlooked for your role. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever.
No.
But I think the message that it seems to have sent to Mrs. Gravitt is that that I have been overlooked and that I have no authority. If you were to, you've spoken of how highly you value my contribution. If you were to actually express that in a tangible way, by giving me the role of deputy, I think that would also solve the problem with Mrs. Gravitt. I think that would be a good way of solving it.
Actually, that's a very good point you raised there. I like that. I like that enormously. I think that actually could work quite well for me, and it could work well for you. It could sort of enhance our collaboration, our partnership. You having a deputy role, you could obviously support me more openly and clearly in the work that I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And hopefully, yes, I could see how it would enhance your esteem in her eyes and so forth, and that might help the relationship with her. I can see a lot of sense in that. I think I'd like to go along with that. I think I'm rather tempted in that as a solution.
Excellent.
I think. So I like that idea. There is another. You've mentioned the Mrs. Gravitt issue as being interlinked. There is something else that's interlinked for me as well, and for us. Now, have you heard about the OSS project?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Of course you have.
Absolutely. I mean, in fact, I was advocating that we adopt the OSS. 18 months ago, I first raised the raise that?
You probably know more about it than I do. I don't know, but you probably do, and you probably got, certainly I believe you've got a tremendously important role to play. Because, you understand conceptually what it's all about.
Absolutely.
What it seeks to achieve, and how it's going to help the business. And we've been given this rather wonderful and privileged opportunity to be involved in it. Obviously I want to share that around the team. I don't want to have the glory, if you like, reflected on me. I'm much keener that it's shared around the team. Now look, what do you think? It seems to me a rather wonderful opportunity for the three of us. Yeah, the three of us.
Are you including Mrs. Gravitt in that?
I'd like to. I'd like to.
No, I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea. I think you and I, in fact, you and I can work, I think, on this, although on a day-to-day basis, I think you can leave the majority of it to me, because I do have a lot of understanding from it.
Yeah.
Where I'm coming from on this is that...
I think I want to work together on it.
Fine.
I think I'd like to do that. I think I want to be involved in the thick of it,
May I suggest, though, that Miss Gravitt is maybe not... It is not wise to involve her in it. And I'll tell you why. A very simple reason is, I think, because of her lack of experience, there would be a large element of sort of coaching that would be required.
Oh, that's fine. I can do that. No problem. I'm doing that already. That doesn't. I do like. The sort of opportunity for togetherness.
Right.
The opportunity for all of us to be involved. If there are tensions, there's nothing like facing forward, opportunity ahead, all working on something together, to putting past tensions behind us.
Right. And now that you have appointed me as your deputy, I'm hoping that will in some way solve the problem with Mrs. Gravitt. I think, in addition, you said that you'd give me a commitment by the end of the session that you would have a word with her. If you can see your way clear to making a commitment to do that, then yes, by all means, let's bring her into the OSS, and let's hope that those two things will actually. Yeah,
obviously, I do need to check that it's okay for me to have a deputy. But yes, I'm going to root for you. I'm rooting for you.
I thought you just said that you'd actually make a commitment.
I'm committed to that as an idea. You and I working together is going to be smashing. I'm committed to that as an idea, and I'm going to champion that one. Step at a time, Peter. Step at a time. It's important that we take things step at a time, and we work on this together.
I thought. I just got the impression that you seem to have altered your position somewhat a few moments ago.
No, we
You made a commitment, a clear commitment.
There is a commitment.
That you were going to appoint me as your deputy, and now you're saying that you would champion me, but you seem to be suggesting
that's a commitment. That's a commitment. But bear with me. Don't doubt my desire for this to happen. Please. We can work on this together. I can support you in that. I'm 95% sure we can sort that deputy position out, so let's not be concerned about that. I'm sure by next Monday or Tuesday we can have that, signed, sealed and delivered. On the Mrs. Gravitt front, similarly, leave it to me for the coaching and so, somehow or other, at some level, we need to integrate her. Obviously, you would have a more superior position in terms of the hierarchy. But even so, I'm very keen in getting this linkage, this togetherness. So that's good. That's good. One of the things I wanted to achieve in this session was to actually get things moving forward in a more collaborative sort of way. Now. Going back to you as a person, are you sure you're all right?
Absolutely.
You sure? Everything's fine, is it with you?
Well,
everything's fine.
I don't think any. I mean, everybody has got a certain amount of frustrations, and I wouldn't say that anybody would ever say at any stage, everything's perfect, ideal.
Yeah.
But generally, I mean, I'm being perfectly frank with you. I mean, my number one frustration at work at the moment is this poor relationship with Mrs. Grabber, and a feeling that I'm being taken for granted. That my contribution to the company, my commitment, as far as I think anybody would agree, has never been in doubt. But I feel that I'm being taken a little bit for granted. It's a little bit like, Berman, he's a good chap, good solid team player, always contributes, always everything on time, but it's just like, he doesn't have any needs of his own, sort of career development of his own, So I do feel a little bit, I honestly do, but you've helped. You've actually helped, that, and there's a deputy thing. I mean, somebody can mock me for that.
We'll
sort that. But it's an indication of not being taken for granted. So it is important.
We will sort that.
And the only other thing is this Grabber thing.
Yeah. Now, on that basis, you and I, then, important element of the team. If we can secure your deputy appointment, you and I, that moving forward together, the strength of that partnership, we can build something around us which is vitally, which will contribute vitally to the success of the business. I'm very, very keen, therefore, that it isn't just me seen to be sorting out Mrs. Grabbert. I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I think, together we've got to work out a way of, bringing her in, making her feel more comfortable. Now, she's been rude. You mentioned she's been rude. I wonder, there might be a way of sort of being able to address that, which is not quite as, which is subtle. I'm looking for some subtlety here. I'm looking for some way in which we can deal with it, which perhaps, doesn't rock the boat too much. I'm wondering if can you think of anything that wouldn't make matters worse? I don't want you to feel, you come here complaining about it and me going and seeing her, and, there must be a way that you and I, perhaps through changing our stance in some way towards, changing, it could very well be that just working together with the OSS could begin to resolve it. You in that deputy position, so in that position, that in itself is going to help.
I think that will help.
I think
I said that. I think so. I do see the two issues as being related.
Yeah,
I think she, the very fact that as you say, the hierarchy is clear.
Yes.
Is going to send a very clear signal to her that I have to be treated with respect because I am her superior. So that's fine. I think that will help.
I don't want you to sort of be too, if you like, domineering. As you say, no.
That's not my style.
Good. I want things, sort of. Even though you're the deputy, and I'll make sure that obviously when we talk about this, there's whatever negotiation needs to take place as far as I don't know what we can do about salary, but I know it's the position more than anything else that that's the thing that's important.
Although, I presume there will be a salary implication.
Oh, I should go for that. Oh yeah, I should go for that. Should go for that. Oh, indeed. I mean, that's going to help us all actually. Because obviously I want to keep the different, and all that. You understand what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
So that can bring benefits to us all as well. Yeah. I don't want it all to hang on the deputy thing, but what do you think? What do you think then? Shall we get things moving next week? We've got a 6-month time frame. We'll get things moving next week. We'll get stuck in on this OSS. We'll begin to formulate a plan. Work out who does what and when. I'll take care of whatever sort of tasks we get Mrs. Grabbert to do, which we need done. I'll sort that. And obviously coach her in the process. But I'm so grateful and pleased that we're going to work together, and that you're committed and going to be, going to get stuck in on it.
Absolutely, no. I mean, as I said, I don't think there's ever been any question about my commitment.
I've got to bear with me. I've got to go in a minute. Is there anything else I can do? Anything else?
I don't think so at the moment. So what are you talking about the sort of in the short term then, the sort of, in terms of the OSS, what sort of timescale were you talking about?
Well, we need to, I suppose we just need to sit down together next week with that in, just have a meeting about that, with that in mind, and think about how we're going to map it out over the course of the next.
I'll tell you what, can we make it the following week? Because I think it'll give us more time to to formulate our ideas. And I'm going away to an association meeting, which is over 2 nights in Hamburg.
I'll tell you what then. I'll email you my papers that I've got on it.
Right.
You, while you're away, read them. If you could sort of do some sort of annotation on them and then email them back to me, so we can begin to think about things.
Absolutely.
Then obviously I can respond, and we can just sort of track ideas like that.
And I will share with you as well. I mean, I've done a lot of preliminary work on this. Because in fact, I mean, in producing the IT project, and providing all this new sales data online, quite a lot of that, I did a lot of background sort of research, which is going to be very useful for the OSS anyway.
Excellent.
So particularly figures-wise, prices, etc., and identifying where the most sensitive areas of price harmonisation are going to occur. I can share those with you and discuss those. And I think as well, it's a good idea now, from this moment on, in dealings with clients, to be aware of the possible implications of these and to actually introduce them into the
I've got to dive off. Bear with me. We can pick this up then. Okay.
That's a
But
shame.
I could have gone on. Okay. Share emails. Brilliant. Great. Good to see you.
And you
Great
too.
to see you.
And you too. And thanks very much indeed.
Oh no, that's nothing.
Thank you.